Hey there, it's the second segment of the DMZ America podcast for Thursday, August 24th, 2023. And tonight, thereabouts in a few hours after this recording, Donald Trump is expected to present himself at the Fulton County, that's the county surrounding Atlanta, lockup to be processed on the felony charges filed by Fulton County prosecutor Fani Willis. He's going to, by all accounts, already he's been forced to post a bond, and he also, just as many of the other defendants in this case have already done, he's already agreed to post $200,000 bond. I don't really know the point of that, Scott. I mean, he only has to post 20,000 of it. By the way, to put this on record, to sue the LA Times, had to post $75,000 bond. Not 10%. I was the plaintiff, by the way. Donald Trump is accused of election interference in Georgia. He only has to put up $20,000, which I don't think he would miss.
No, that's one gold toilet.
I don't really, yeah, true. I don't understand the point of this at all. But they're also almost certainly going to do a mugshot with the gray background and like the logo of the Fulton County Sheriff's Office up on the upper left-hand corner. That's going to be an iconic photo. Prediction number one, Scott. Facial expression: smiley, neutral, scowling.
Scowly. That's agreed. Just how, yeah, he's going to do scowly. Okay. Question number two, Ted. And this is actually being bet on in Las Vegas. Gaming books are putting this height and weight.
We did this before, so before the broadcast, so before the podcast. So I'm going to repeat what I said before. 6'1", 264.
Wow, you are just way nicer than me. I say 6'1", I think that's true, but I'd say 278.
Officially, isn't he 6'2", officially?
Well, they're all taller. My God, Ted. Quick story.
Vivek is 6'8".
Yeah, Jimmy Carter running in 1976. He's 5'10". Well, I'm 5'10" when I meet him. I'm in 11th grade in high school. And he came to my father, was general manager of a TV station, and Governor Carter came to speak. I shook his hand, and I could look over his head. So 5'10", my ass. They said George W. Bush was 6 foot. Horse shit. If he's 6 foot, then I am 6'9".
Really? How tall do you think he was?
He was 5'10", 5'9".
Yeah, it makes sense. Like that makes sense to me.
Now his dad was tall. H.W. Bush was I think it's tied with Lincoln, 6'4". Yeah, people always. I
always thought Reagan presented as short, but he wasn't.
Oh no, he presented as very tall. He was 6'3". 6'2".
Yeah, I was very surprised. I always thought he looked on TV like a short guy, but he wasn't.
Really? Oh,
well, you can't tell. There's no references, often. They're just there by themselves.
I have a picture in my office that a friend took at the 80 convention of Reagan Bush, and Reagan looks to be 2 inches or more taller than Reagan. Yeah. So, okay. So 6'1", we both say that, but you say a svelte 264.
Vested and ready.
And I say a blubbery 278. Okay.
All right. We'll see who's closer.
I'm also wondering if when they weigh you, do you wear your clothes? Because he's going to be wearing a suit and tie, which has weight. When I go to the doctor,
that tie weighs 10 pounds right there.
Well, because it reaches down to his fucking knees. When I go to the doctor, I strip down to a thong. When they weigh me, I hate that.
You heard it here first.
I just hate to be, because I struggle with weight, and I just hate to stand on the fucking scale. And I never understood having to step on the scale every time you go to the doctor. Especially I went to my urologist.
They're probably having a betting pool down there at the doctor.
I went to a urologist.
Chances is here. All right, everybody, put in your money.
I went to a urologist recently, and they weighed you. I'm going, what? Why, weigh my penis or my butt, but don't, what the,
your bladder.
Weigh my bladder. Why the hell did you have to weigh me? Anyway, okay, so that's what's going. And
it's actually interesting. My urologist is far more interested in weighing me than my other doctors are. I don't know why. He's also interested in going to places that he shouldn't go.
I'm sorry?
Well,
Oh, well, the finger thing, yeah.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
if he dims the light and puts on romantic music, then you begin to worry. That's
Or
the
death
point.
metal.
That's could you
Well, that could be
imagine?
romantic music. Depends.
I don't. Yeah, I guess if yeah, well, whatever. Okay, so what's the other? So we're scowling. You say scowl.
Scowl.
See, my
It
advice
has
to
to be, although he should smile.
yes, if you're an elected official or a high profile person and you're getting your mugshot taken, you should smile.
One of his attorneys was who's already been booked there. She looks lovely. She's smiling. She looks cute. It's great. It's a great photo.
Yeah,
Um,
the Giuliani, God, he looks like
oh my God, the carcass.
yes, it really is not becoming. So if Trump, and Trump's not going to listen to anybody, but if he would listen to me, I'd say smile. Just have or at least put your chin up, look defiant, just kind of like, but he's going,
Little Mussolini.
yeah, he's going to have that sixth grade, I'm pissed off at you look
Yeah,
on his face.
beat you at the bike racks, fucker. Yeah.
Okay, and so they're going to fingerprint him as well. Is all this necessary? I mean, is this just a way for that?
Of course it's not necessary. Now, the funny thing is, I think it's such a Rorschach test how you look at this, right? I mean, you can look at this and be like, man, isn't America great? The system works. No man is above the law. Everyone's accountable, even a former president, even a billionaire, even a superstar. They all have to be humiliated. Also, isn't what about the irony? Mr. Tough on crime. How does it feel now, Mr. Tough on crime, to be humiliated? And they want to see that. They're going to see that mugshot. In that mugshot, they're going to see vindication for everything they always thought about him and about themselves. And then there's more than two ways to look at this, many more. But I think for me, there's three main ones. The other way to look at it is, of course, his followers who are going to be, that's a fucking disgrace. They humiliated our man. That's like putting Jesus up on the cross. Like we have, like we have, that is fucking horrid. How dare they? They're such assholes. And then there's like my point of view, which is, Donald Trump is a big boy. And certainly he had to know he was flirting with this kind of shit. And I actually don't think he's ever going to see the inside of a jail cell. He's walking by to have his photo taken. And I think he's probably going to be president again. The thing is, but I look at it and I think it's a disgrace. Yeah, it's a bit of a disgrace for him. It's really a disgrace for the United States. And that juxtaposition of this man who symbolizes the office of the presidency and the hopes and aspirations of over 70 million voters, to be humiliated like that and arrested by a local yokel police department, right? Not even like the fucking Atlanta jail, as opposed to, like, let's say, the Untouchables, F. Elliot Ness, FBI, DOJ, at least federal district court, at least. And this is not any of those things. There's no grandeur to it. It's not like we have nailed you for treason. You were fucking selling secrets to China. Like you gave the launch codes to a foreign country. None of that. This is like penny ante shit. He was making calls to Georgia election officials. And now he's got on the wrong side of an ambitious local prosecutor who's literally pimping this thing on her reelection website, even as we speak. I'm like, it's a fucking bad look for our country, even if you fucking hate Donald Trump. I hope you're able to see that. I don't like Donald Trump at all. I will never vote for him. I never did. I wouldn't. I mean, I don't vote Republican ever. It's like, I just don't, but it's like, this is a problem for the country. And I don't want to back up to as Nietzsche, not as a, as a Machiavelli said, don't fucking back your enemy into a corner. Always allow your enemy a graceful exit. And our enemy, if you're a Democrat, is the Republicans, and we're not doing that. We're humiliating them by extension.
Well, I actually posted a very quick little thing on Center Clip, which is Ted and I are both involved in. If you haven't gone to it, you need to, centerclip.com, and said virtually the same thing. Not quite that, that I feel sorry for him, but rather that, or that this hurts our image. But anyone who is cackling over this, anyone who's, and every Democrat, and especially in places like Manhattan, Chicago, tomorrow are going to be wearing T-shirts with the mugshot on it. And
half of which will be sold by the Trump campaign, by the way.
Yeah. Well, they're going to go with, you and I have mentioned this before, with Bears mentioning again, Eugene Debs. This is going to be vote for, prisoner number. And I don't know the number, but that was one of the best campaign buttons
I think
ever.
It's 0084 if memory serves.
But if you're a Democrat, I understand your hatred of Trump. I get it. But this is not a time to celebrate. And that's what we're going to see tonight. And it's going to be unseemly. It's going to be grotesque, and it's going to be inappropriate. But you know what, Ted, we live in inappropriate times, and that's what we're going to have. And this is not a good thing. If you could say nobody's above the law. Okay. That's really a fair point. Well, we all know that that's bullshit, but in this case, at least it shows to the world that even a former president who is charged with a crime will be processed like you and I would be processed. But he's not going to be processed like you and I would be processed, because we would be thrown into Fulton County Jail until someone paid our bail. And Fulton County Jail,
and your bail would be higher than Donald Trump's.
It would be higher, and Fulton County Jail is a shithole. We would be shivved. We would be dead and or badly maimed if you went before we were sprung by some family member who hopefully showed up with the big check. I'm not sure.
Big phone cord check.
Yeah.
with balloons.
But it's still a fair point to say, okay, this shows that, the criminal justice system, equal justice under law. There's a proviso, but essentially, okay. There's a point to be made there, but no, that's not what's going to happen. You're going to see Democrats across the country dancing in the streets. We got him. First of all, by the way, as Ted and I have mentioned, you don't got him. Okay. You've charged him, and this is a big case. This is a criminal conspiracy in the RICO laws. The other cases I think are bullshit and ticky-tacky, and not because I love Trump. I don't. But
case? I mean, I think Manhattan, Alvin Bragg.
Yes, that's very ticky-tacky.
The documents also.
Yeah, I don't know that. He'll walk on that, or there'll be a fine, and he'll pay for it, and his minions will pony up the money, and the guy living in the trailer in the middle of Tennessee will send in his $5.
January 6th is serious.
The January 6th one you mean the one that he's being booked?
The federal January 6th with Jack Smith. And
I don't know.
Which is basically the Fulton County thing is basically a cut and paste of the January 6th, but only the Georgia section.
Yeah, the Georgia section I think has more legs, because he really did call officials and say find the votes, and
come on, that term that's subject to interpretation, right? This reminds me a lot of when he at a rally he said, like, hey Russia, if you're listening, find Hillary's emails and send them over. And the Democrats, with a straight face, said he reached out to a foreign power and asked them, like, oh my God, it's a joke. It's not even a very big joke. It's sarcasm is what it is.
Yeah, it's not that funny, but it's a joke.
And also, hey, all I need to do is find whatever, 8,000 votes. I'm sorry, there's plausible deniability there. It's not the same thing as please add 8,000 votes to the final count, whether they are true or not, which is what I think you have to have in order to justify sending a man to prison.
Yeah, again, I think that the calls to Georgia, we'll have to hear more about that, but I do feel that has more legs than the January 6th case, because I mean, you have to, like you said, you did a cartoon about it. You have to prove, what did he think and when did he think it? That's a tough one. That's a really high bar. But the Georgia case, I think, has some legs. Of the 4 indictments so far, that's the one I think has the
Well,
most
especially because
potential.
the jury's not going to be good for him.
I don't know. I mean, Fulton County, I mean, outside of Atlanta, that still includes a lot of land where the Trump flags fly free.
Are you sure about that? I mean, what is it?
Oh yeah.
Is Decatur, Georgia, part of Fulton County? It's right out. It's not far from Atlanta, but that's still liberal, right? I mean, Atlanta is a very black city.
Yes. Yeah.
Black voters are obviously Democrats. Um, but look, the thing is, it's a criminal case. It has to be unanimous, right? You get one juror on there who's like, I'm not that sure. That's it, right? I mean, he walks.
Oh, I think he walks on a lot of these. And what is it? The Manhattan case is going to be tried in May.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it. I don't think
Oh,
any of these cases are coming up for trial, even beginning jury selection, even I think pretrial motions are all we're getting before November of next year.
and there's also rumors that Trump is again mixing up his defense team, so he's going to have more lawyers.
That's part of his delay tactics.
Yes, it is. He's done it before. He'll do it again, and so we're seeing this.
Like, Your Honor, I'm a new counsel. I need time to familiarize myself with the case.
Exactly. So, going forward, I just I agree with you in terms of showing a former president, the face of the president, a face of a president in a mugshot. There's going to be half the country is going to be gleeful, giggling, and chortling, but this is not a time to do that. This is a time. I would like to transition back to serious times.
Time for turn.
I wish we did turn back. I wish the time had gone back to the serious times where we took issues seriously, and that's what we were talking about here.
You're so cute. You're like
I know, I'm adorable.
Let's go back a little bit before we close out this week's podcast. I just want to talk a little bit about the complexion of the race. I think it's fair to say, following the debate last night, Donald Trump will be the nominee. 99% certainty.
I said that before the stupid
but
debate.
Now I think we're at 99% certainty now. Last night was DeSantis's chance to shine. It was other people's chance to break out. None of that happened. You don't get in DeSantis's case, a 5th chance to make a good first impression. That's it. And obviously it's Biden on the Democratic side. So rematch. It's just like the election of 1888, but less appealing.
Yeah. Yeah, this is I can't get over how bad these candidates, and you talk to your behind closed doors, unless they are. I found that Democrats who are over 70 really do like Joe Biden because he's one of them. I guess I can't figure that one out, but they do. Other than that, if you talk to your Democratic friends, and it's not just you, Ted, but others I've talked around, not just here in Alabama, but around the country, they don't like Joe Biden. They really, 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 really wish he wasn't running.
I don't see, honestly, what's hilarious about all this is we're stuck with him. Not inherently. I mean, the DNC told everyone else, like Newsom and all these other people, no, you can't run because we have incumbent Joe. I mean, it's not like no one else wants to run. If lots of other Democrats could and would run if they got the chance, they're not allowed to. And then, so it's kind of like it's really a dysfunctional relationship. It's like, it's like fucking Sophie's Choice, right? It's like, well, you can, we're only going to let you vote for this guy. So it's him or it's the orange idiot over there in prison. Your choice. I mean,
with the Hunter,
we're giving you.
The Hunter Biden case could proceed very quickly, and they could have both of our candidates are in prison.
Well, certainly, I think they're going to impeach Joe Biden.
Yes.
They should, but will not convict in the Senate. They should.
I'm not so sure about that. I think if
once the truth comes out, though, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure that even loyal Democrats can't look at a guy who's getting kickbacks from his, corrupt, drugged out son, and look at that and go,
and then
we're okay with that.
The war for his drugged out son's corrupt employer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it seems bad. It's
Yeah, that would be a word.
wrong, tacky, gauche.
Yeah, beyond the pale.
So, Scott, where can people find all the things that will make them know more about the Scott Stantis lifestyle?
Go to gocomics.com/Scott Stantis. That's one word. Or go to gocomics.com/Prickly City to see my comic strip. You can also go to the Chicago Tribune, one word.com, and go to the opinion section and see a gallery of the work I draw for them. And you can go to Center Clip, which you know you should either download the app or sign up for the newsletter and get many podcasts. They're 30 seconds, no longer than 5 minutes, by some really smart people, Ted and I included. Also our friend Patty Vasquez and other names that you're going to grow to know. It's interesting, Ted. I'm hearing more and more people who have checked it out and really like it. And so that's very cool. Where can we see all things Ted Rall?
Well, you can find all things Ted Rall at places like my radio show Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern on Radio Sputnik. Probably the easiest place to get it is on Rumble, so you don't have to watch it live or listen to it live. You can just stream it. It's also available in a lot of podcasting joints. whowhatwhy.org and gocomics.com/Ted Rall. I'd like to point out, Scott, by the way, that this is an historic edition of the podcast. It is the last podcast I will do in my 50s. Ted
Wait,
Rall
what?
will be turning 60 by next week. So
How do you feel about that?
well, first of all, I'm feeling like I'm talking about myself in the third person. So
Well,
the
dementia
I feel like it's really surreal and weird. It's that thing where I look in the mirror and I'm like, who's that guy? Who's that craggy motherfucker? I don't even really feel like I'm 50. I mean, if you said like, oh yeah, Ted, you're like 38, I'd be like, okay. Inside, I feel like I'm like 30.
Yeah.
But yes.
But then you stand up and you walk like you have a corn cob shoved up your ass. Then it's like, then you're 60. I'm saying I've been 60 for a while now. It's well, you don't look it. I mean, by the way, you truly don't.
I look like I'm 70.
No, you don't. But that's good. But 60 was hard for me. I mean, because that's old. Someone that says, how old are you?
Fucking old. There's no question. Except in editorial cartooning, it makes you like a child. There's very few cartoonists, professional cartoonists, who are younger than we are.
Is that true?
It is true. There's only a few.
God.
What, Jen Sorensen? Tom Tomorrow is older than I am.
There's someone we could name, yeah, I guess. Okay. Well, actually, I just told Ted before we came on that Janine, my wife and I have bought the tickets. We're going out to New York. So
woohoo! Looking forward to seeing you.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Woohoo.
All right. We'll talk about that offline.
Yes.
Man, I'm going to have to fucking vacuum the apartment. Fuck.
Anyway. No, you don't.
Oh, yeah. And I should warn you that there is a ferocious guard cat here.
I know. Clovis, I've only seen him on video. I hope he...
in real life, he's 200 pounds. So.
I hope he is kind.
He's just very dense. He's actually half the size. And anyway, all right, we'll talk about the laws of feline physics later. See you soon and offline, Scott. And
okay.
Bye, everyone.
Ta-ta.
See you in my 60s.
Wow.